Yeah, that's tough. What the heck is that team? That team is wild, honestly. Okay, well, I mean, that's just like, those are just things where you just can't avoid, right? Like, it is what it is. Pangoro, Lapras, Cobalion. They run into a Virizion, they're just screwed.
A few moments later.
Are you also triple weak to Virizion? You're right, I am. I actually am. You're actually 100% right. That's actually hilarious. I'm gonna need to change my team up after this. I just realized. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well, and hopefully the Might and Mastery season has been interesting for you all. For me, I've been doing a little testing here or there, and just want to see how some of these top-ranked Pokemon run. And so today, I'm going to showcase some Ultra League battles in my new Ultra League team. It is a Gastrodon, Grumpig, and Talonflame. Main reason I have this team is because I'm sick and tired of seeing all these Galarian Weezing. It's really, really strong, especially in Ultra League. So I just wanted to have a team that counters it pretty well, and overall, feels pretty good. There's a few holes in this team here or there, but we'll talk about it as we get into the battles and how I address them. I have two back-to-back sets for you all, so let's get into it. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. For starters, like I said, there are some core breakers for this team. One of them is definitely Dragonite, or just dragons in general is pretty annoying, but we'll see what happens here. They actually come in Obstagoon, which is not something I expected to see, but yeah. Anyway, and probably not the best answer to Grumpig, even on top of that, but we'll see what they do here. This is going to do a decent amount of damage. I don't really think I plan on shielding here because, yeah, it's not really going to do me any favors. I somehow get that 3 Dynamic Punch, though. I think they got a little greedy. Oh, they just gave us Switch Advantage. Okay, not the end of the world. I honestly prefer if they didn't give up Switch Advantage and double shielded, because then I would have been in a good spot. But we're just going to do what we can to absorb this energy and then come in Talonflame. And hopefully, they're pretty weak. Usually what happens is when teams are this strong into your team, your whole team in the back can core break whatever their third Pokemon is. So let's hope for that, because otherwise we're in trouble. If they have like a water in the back, I'm actually not in the worst spot because I have a shield remaining. So even if they have like a Feraligatr, for example, it's actually not the worst. But this is kind of how you deal with core breakers. And as you see, even though it's a bad lead, sometimes you have play. Guzzlord, another core breaker for this team as well. Obviously very strong to my backline Pokemon, but we have the Gastrodon. It's not too bad. Obviously, if they debuff us with Crunch, it can be a different story, but that's actually not the case. And they come in with Lapras. This is pretty nice too. Grumpig is fairly reliable into Lapras, just because you have the super effective Dynamic Punch, and also the Psy Wave they throw at your Grumpig is resisted, whereas it's neutral for the Lapras. So not too bad. Let's see if we could get to enough energy to have something for even the Guzzlord. That would be kind of ideal. I was a little unsure about the timing on the Lapras energy, just because I'm not as used to it, to be honest. But we get to Dynamic Punch, which is massive, because now we do a sizable amount of damage, and I could get the Body Slam off. And they let me for some reason. I thought they were going to throw a move, but maybe they just wanted to see what was going to happen afterward. And we get another one off. It's unlikely they double shield at this point in time, so I feel pretty confident that, again, this is a Talonflame counter for them. So is a Lapras, right? So my Talonflame should be pretty strong in the back. Let's see what it is, though. We could tank one move for sure. Probably have to start shielding afterward. No, okay. Did we see it? We don't even see it. So like I said, team has a decent amount of core breakers, but they're manageable. This is a core breaker as well, because I don't really have a true answer for Talonflame in general. So there's that. I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Ball, because if they no-shield it, it gets really uncomfortable for me. They actually end up... Or, sorry, if they... if they no-shield the bait, I should say. And they're going straight for the Fly, which... I'm just going to double shield. I don't know if double shielding here is the right call or not, though. Okay. So now they come into Giratina. Again, Giratina is also kind of a core breaker. This seems to be a lot of core breaker for this team, but... is what it is. Sometimes Giratina are running Ancient Power, so it makes the Talonflame matchup a little bit less comfortable. It's hard to tell though, because they're probably going to just throw straight Dragon Claw at me. So it's hard to see if it really is Ancient Power or not. But I have noticed a decent amount of Giratina running Ancient Power, which definitely makes it harder for the Talonflame. I was going for the Earth Power here, but they end up throwing their Energy, which is also not too bad for me. Because now they don't have as much that they could do with this Venusaur against my Talonflame at least. They're going to land one Sludge Bomb, but that's fine. They actually let me get a full Incinerate through, which is nice. And now I'm at max energy. So not too bad. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to just throw the Fly because it doesn't matter what comes in with. I'm at max energy, so there's really no point there. We're going to try to optimize off this Fly and go for another one because I need to get to this to have a chance. Again, if they're running Ancient Power, I pretty much just lose. If it's Shadow Sneak or Dragon Claw, I'm fine. But unfortunately, it's Ancient Power. I also went for a bait earlier on a Shadow Ball when I could have thrown the Dynamic Punch. Maybe Dynamic Punch there would have been enough, but I wasn't fully sure. Yeah, I just didn't realize they had that much energy. So had I baited their Giratina earlier, maybe I had a chance. But either way, again, like even with Core Breakers for this team, it's not too bad. Feraligatr. This is kind of a weird matchup because I swear, one Feraligatr did not shield my Earth Power, and ever since then, I've been going straight for the Earth Power, and they've been shielding. So play it how you will, but if they don't shield, you have to spend a shield yourselves. However, at this point in time, they are kind of low on health, so I figured I could probably just sidewave this down. I'm going to shield once, because it's still going to be a decent amount of damage. I'm just hoping that the Talonflame can Core Break him in the back. Let's see what happens here. I go for a Dynamic Punch, and they no shield, of course. And I go for the catch, and I also get an Incinerate through, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, it is a Thunder Punch bait, but we get the full Incinerate down at least. Unfortunately, I had to shield that. If it was a Blast Burn, I'd probably survive. And then they actually come in for Alligator. They didn't really get the catch off, though. And I have to go for this Brave Bird. I think I'm going to swap over or maybe try to go for a move. Yeah, I couldn't quite. Oh, wait, no, I get to the Dynamic Punch, though. Yeah, I was thinking about trying to maybe just stay in for the Fly, but I go and surprise him with the Dynamic Punch. I guess it's not enough to KO, but I think they just quit out of the game at this point, too. So, pretty good for me. I think, honestly, if they stayed in there, they could have potentially won, but they just kind of gave up, I guess. Pangoro is also a decent Core Breaker. It's not too bad, honestly, to face because Gashon has a lot of neutral play. I land the Earth Power, though, so because of that, I'm just going to shield up. And, yeah, we take it out, which is quite nice. Lapras is going to be pretty strong into the Talonflame, so I don't really want to deal with it. I'm kind of hoping that they have, like, maybe a Galarian Weezing in the back. I know I said I built the team mainly for Galarian Weezing, but we haven't really seen any. Now I'm going to swap out, though, and it ends up being a Steelix, which also is pretty fine because my whole team is fairly solid into it. It has a lot of play. Let's see what they come in with. Or what moves they're throwing. Most are running Zap Cannon. Yeah, it's unlikely they're running Flash Cannon. Focus Blast. Not impossible, though. But I think the coverage is too good, especially in Ultra League, to have Zap Cannon. Unfortunately, I do get debuffed, but I just need to wear down this timer. Is pretty much what I'm mainly thinking of. And then we managed to get the Earth Power off. And they shield. And it's on Charge Attack priority, which is massive. Because now, I'm not going to shield this up. Good undercharge by them, for sure. I think I come in Talonflame, though, and I could let one Sparkling Aria go, and they can't lock on me down. That's the thing, right? So even though that's super effective damage, okay, I have to shield this one, but I could let it go, at least one go, because there's no way they get to move. Now they do get to move, but because they throw all their energy, they can't have back-to-back moves. Also, Focus Blast not enough. But I do think the Focus Blast is the right call for them, and just hope that it's enough, because there's no way to outpace my Grumpig at that point if they threw a Zap Cannon. Alright, so we go 4-1. First set, not too bad. I think that one game I lost, if I played it a little bit differently, I had a win con there too. So again, those are the games where, like, even if you lost, if there's a chance to win, then it means that, you know, with some better gameplay, you could probably pull off the victory. I don't know what that was about, but that person just quit out right away. It's possible they're tanking, but just like a weird time in the season to be tanking elo. Maybe they just really don't like facing Gashadon. I don't know. Lapras not that bad into it. I'm not really sure why they quit out, but they did. This is not a bad matchup though, because Rollout Blastoise is throwing resistant moves, and my whole point is I just need to get rid of this Lapras, this Blastoise as soon as possible, right? I just don't want to deal with it in my backline. This is pretty bad. I do manage to get a Earth Power off though, but again, this is kind of a weird one because I don't know what move they have, right? Shadow Sneak is way worse for Grumpig, whereas Ancient Power is way worse for Talonflame. And my guess is they also probably aren't the strongest into Talonflame in the back if they have a Blastoise in the lead and a Giratina in the back. So I'm hoping that their backline is kind of weak to Talonflame. Let's see though what we can do here. They do let it go. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, triple Talonflame counters, double Grumpig counters, and yeah, it's just not a great time. And then all three are pretty neutral into Gastrodon. This is just one of those games where just like the composition itself, it's just very hard to win, unfortunately. You can do what you can, but at the end of the day, like sometimes when that happens, it happens, you know? I think like I was positioned pretty well if it had something else in the back, but unfortunately not the case, and that's okay. Things like that will happen. Honestly, had I landed a Brave Bird there, I might have been able to win. I don't know. I don't actually think it's enough to KO, but maybe put it in Sidewave range. Yeah, I don't get to the Dead End Punch, so I would have to put it in Sidewave range for that to be possible, but hard to say. Okay, another shout out for Feraligatr. Like I said, I've been going kind of straight for the move. Ooh, okay, they actually come in for Virizion, which is quite nice for me. There's always a chance they have Stone Edge, especially if they safe swapping it, and that's exactly what they have. So I'm going to optimize here. Actually, no, I go for the back-to-back, which I think is fine. If they shield, I have another one that I wouldn't charge that priority on. I'd let a double kick through, which is not ideal, but I can see if I grab double shields at least. I get the Incinerate through too, which is quite nice. Even if they bait me here, it's not the end of the world. I was expecting the combo play though, because I was like, all right, there's no way they shield this unless they try and go for a combo play to take me out. And anticipation there was nice. Even if I don't call it, I still can take out the Virizion from that range with the Gastrodon. So it's not the end of the world, but I just had a feeling, you know. Get the full Incinerate down here, and they're just going to quit out, which, given what's likely in their backline, I think it makes sense. Probably something else that's really weak to Talonflame, if we're to guess. Maybe Credilli? I don't know. I'm not really sure what it could be. But it's probably something actually that can handle Virizion leads because they have their own in the back. So maybe like Cresselia, I don't know. Either way, puts me in a pretty commanding position for sure. I like to shield the first move from Greninja because it's less likely they're going to throw a Night Slash, whereas if they land a Hydro Cannon first, they could throw a Night Slash later. I just didn't get rid of the Greninja though. It's pretty annoying for my team. Speaking of annoying for my team, Giratina, it is annoying for sure. I'm just going to get this Bysam off. Maybe the better play is to swap out. I don't know. But I just kind of want to come in Grumpig. And again, we don't know what move they have, so it's kind of... That's probably the worst part with this team is you don't know. This looks like they're running Ancient Power Dragon Claw. And because of that, I have a little bit better of a situation I could deal with. So I'm like, there's no way they don't shield this, right? And they don't shield it, which is kind of nuts, but is what it is. And yeah, that's really bad for me. Had I taken him out, maybe could have put me in a better spot, but now I'm just down 2 shields, which is not ideal. And I'm just going to take this out, though, and hope they have, like, a Alolan Sandslash back. But they don't shield, which makes me think it's not. ABA Water, man. These teams are wild, right? Like, they want to run Virizion the lead. I have no idea how they win this game. They run to any grass type, a Credilli, electric type, like, super ABA weak to a lot of things. But, you know what? If it works for them, it works for them. Who knows? But yeah, those kind of teams do throw me off quite a bit because you can only do so much, right, in those situations. I wouldn't say I played that game well either. Maybe some of my bait calls were just not worth. Particularly the Grumpig into the Giratina, but that team composition itself just made no sense. And sometimes, you know, you just go for those gambles and they work out. And it seems like it's going well for them. Also, a Fairy lead too. What the heck? Greninja in the lead with the Giratina in the back? Like, I don't know. You're core broken by Fairy, Grass, Grass Fighters. Very common things in the meta. All Electrics. I don't know. Anyway, well played by them though, for sure. Okay, we do face the Jellicent in the lead. This is pretty good for me because they do have the Weezing in the back. The Sludge does add up quite a bit, so I do unfortunately have to shield. But I don't think that they're going to shield a Brave Bird, so I'm going to go straight for it. Worst case scenario, they shield it, and then I come in Grumpig. Yeah, Brutal Swing doesn't do too much. Oh, and they have a Versi on the back. This is pretty much GG's because they have a Grumpig, and they just can't take out my Grumpig fast enough. At best, they have like a Stone Edge or something, right? Or a Leaf Blade, but it's not going to be enough. Sideways going to add up. And then Niantic happened. If you those haven't tuned into news lately, they did sell their Pokemon Go game and other stuff to Scopely, a new company. So hopefully Scopely will fix some of these bugs. But that would have been another positive set. 4-1 the first one, 3-2 the next one. Unfortunately, we just had a game that just could not be recovered, and it is what it is. But overall, I think the team is really solid. Like I said, there's a lot of core breakers for it, but there's a lot of ways to dance around it. My first loss in my first set was probably winnable as well if I played it a little better. And then my 2 losses this set, outside the last one, obviously should have been a win, were just really bad comps, right? Triple counter to Talonflame and then like some wild ABA water comp. But, you know, outside those really wonky compositions, I think this team is really strong, and yeah, give it a shot if you have the resources. I think Grumpig's quite nice. I think Lapras is not bad, but I feel like because there's so many Jellicent, it's actually a little bit harder to run than it is in Great League, but that's just my take on it. Anyway, if you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.